We're here, we're live. The man them are in the building.
Boom skeng, sharing the live.
So what's going on?
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year. That's the first most important thing. Happy New Year.
Hope everybody had a New Year like me. Because my New Year started on some good vibes.
Oh, you might as well start there then.
Your thing sounds empty though, man.
That
energy sounded flat.
Yeah, you know what? You're probably right.
Happy
but
New
I ain't
Year,
gonna
like
shout,
me.
I ain't going to shout out too loud. Taxman might be listening.
Might be listening, yeah.
But the start to my year was actually really good. It was calm as I wanted it. It was not too loud.
Well, we get colour. Okay.
Go on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go on.
I got the gremlins working in our favour today. But yeah, it was nice, man. I spent it with the family. I wasn't here for Christmas, so we didn't really have a Christmas. But New Year's was lovely, man. New Year's was great. Work's been popping in a good way. And I've seen a lot of people at the start of the year that, to be honest, I didn't think I'd actually see. People have called me that I haven't spoken to in a long time.
Egypt, you know that. I don't even know why I'm listening to this.
But it's my time.
Like I'm
so,
paying attention.
But yeah,
because
be idiot on your own time.
Sirelli's been
So
here
as I was saying,
for how many days since he come back
people
in the
have been
country?
calling me.
He didn't even
and
come and check, man.
It's been good. It's been
It's
good.
the first time I see, man.
I helped
It's
a friend
January the
through a
11th.
very, very
Not me.
complicated.
Not Buddy.
Whoa.
Buddy's not even here to defend himself. You're Egypt.
No. But I've supported friends, supported family. It's been good, man. I'm really happy with the way the year started. I've already booked my first holiday for this year.
Mad. Where?
Where to?
Tunisia.
My thing, okay.
My first time to the Motherland, which is kind of a big deal for me.
Why so?
Because I've never been there, bro.
Oh, right, okay.
Never.
Have you, Ray?
Tunisia?
Have
No,
you been to the Motherland?
Africa? Of
Yeah.
course, yeah. Well, I say of
I
course.
said, of course, like
I've been
you weren't born there, bruv.
No, I wasn't born there, no.
Why is that
Quickly. Yeah, I have. I've been to the African part of Egypt, and when I was younger, went to Gambia. My godmother is from Gambia.
The African part of Egypt?
I was just about to say, what do you mean by that?
Well, it's cut into, well, there's an African part, and then there is a...
Another African.
Just don't say obviously because man like me don't know these
It's
things.
isn't it the Asian part where the Suez Canal?
Arabian part.
But yeah, exactly. So yeah, so when I said
It's
Africa,
Because I knew some people are going to ask,
it's
what
all
do you mean
Africa,
by
isn't
that?
Yeah, I still don't know. So what the Nile
it's split
River
by the Suez
separates it?
Canal. That's what the Suez Canal separates. There's,
But it's still Africa.
well, if you say so. But I remember being when I was there. One of the
They're in the African couple of nations, right? Not one half is in the Asia, the Asia thing, and the other half is
the
in
tour guide was talking historically about why the Suez Canal was there and why they define it as two separate. Well, one is in Africa and one is almost Asia. I think it was.
Do you know why I don't believe any of it?
Why is that?
Because the Suez Canal is man-made.
Yeah.
So Cape of Africa, then you can't now turn around and tell me you're going to now take some of the country and push it in another continent.
Just so
because
that can
yeah,
suits you.
it don't make sense to me.
But Jesus, if we say that, the lines that separate, I don't know, Gaza and Israel, like who drew those lines? The lines,
Who drew the borders of Africa?
the borders of Africa
yeah.
that say that the countries that Nigeria next to it.
Oh, yeah.
That's a
So
4-day
it's all mad.
podcast. Let's not start that.
You might want to get shut down, and I'm talking when you go home, your key don't work in the lock. That kind of shut
Turn
down.
on your light and it don't come on.
Are we sharing the live? Is the more
don't know.
Mine's
important
already
thing.
done.
I don't know. Rain, how was your New Year's?
It was good, man. Like New Year's Eve into New Year's Day was good. I went to my bedroom's dance in Reading, and I've been historically, and they've been okay, but this one was the best one.
No way.
Yeah, I don't know what it was.
We're able to plug the event.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah, of course we are able
none
to.
Of you lot told me you're going, but it's all right.
All right, let's move swiftly on. But yeah, so shouts out to Curtis White and them, man, the getaway. So I was up there. I'm not saying that historic ones weren't good. This one was just, well, maybe, but this one was just better, I think. The vibe, the people that I interacted with, there was a lot of old people that, like, I saw a couple of my bedrooms from university that are up there. Oh, wow. You know what I mean? And then obviously the people that I see on a regular basis. It was good, man. I enjoyed it, but yeah, no buts. It was good, man. But like New Year's is always a good time for me, man. I don't do the go back on the year, new me, which we're probably going to come on to sometime shortly. I don't do all of that, man.
Maybe you should.
Why?
Maybe you should. I mean, we'll discuss it.
Yeah, we'll discuss it.
Wiley, how was yours?
My New Year's was spent at home. It was spent at home.
Nice.
I had a very quiet. You know what? I've not gone raving or done anything like going out New Year's wise for a number of years now because.
So no one booked Wileycat DJ?
Mazza.
No,
Maybe you
not
should
at
put your name on the back of the laptop.
You know, maybe I should. Maybe I should. But on a real though, like the main thing for me normally is that I'm normally working because I work in the transport industry.
Oh, the shift
quite
pattern,
that normally has quite a big effect in it. But this year was actually quiet. New Year's was at home, and you know what? I don't know if I'm getting old,
And you
but I
can't
actually
even
enjoyed it.
you can't even be mobile like that. You know, for those that know the history with your injury.
Yeah.
So I get
it was good. It was the whole Christmas period was a good period actually. Christmas was decent. New Year's going into New Year's was decent.
Wait.
So the whole
So Christmas
period
was decent. What did you get for Christmas? That's memorable.
Present wise, I didn't get any presents.
What?
Russ. Do you know why?
didn't
Do you
get
know
any
why?
presents.
Do you know why? Because your budget was.
And you told them. They listen to the podcast.
I said it.
If you listen to the Christmas
said
podcast,
it.
you will know. Yes, indeed that. It's certainly.
All right.
But yeah, my Christmas was a really good one. We went to visit some family, had lots of food, lots and lots of food. Very enjoyable Christmas. New Year's, spent that at home, like I said.
Nice.
It was just nice. It was nice.
You got no presents though, man.
No presents.
So nothing at all, not even a socks.
Not even a socks. You know what it is? I came to.
Right, you're rationalising the
I've
people.
come-
that hate-
yeah,
You're rationalising
I'm
the people
listening
that
to
hate
this.
you, bruv.
Listen,
Wait,
I've come-
sorry. I have to interject.
Go on.
Did you buy any presents?
Yeah, I
You
did,
need to
know.
watch the podcast, bro. I know you weren't in the country, but this is all spoken about on the podcast.
Right, but for those who didn't,
The
Did you buy
Sirellis of the
I
world.
bought some presents, not lots.
okay.
Not lots.
Did you buy yourself a present?
No.
You
So
don't
I
like
didn't
yourself.
even get a present for myself.
You
no.
don't like yourself.
Indeed. But yeah, you know, I get to an age now where I feel like I'm not expecting them. So if I get them, I'm really happy to get them. But
That's why you buy yourself a present.
buy yourself
And wrap
a
it up
present
and act surprised.
And that surprised me.
Yeah, and then when the family's round, this is what you should have got me. Yeah. You know? Well, that's mad.
This is all I got for Christmas.
What did you get for Christmas then?
To be fair,
Oh, what? Same boat as Wiley.
no. The reason why I said that, I paused, is because we went here. We travelled on Christmas Day itself.
Do you know when
So-
Sirelli's chatting nonsense?
Like I said, you know what? You're gonna learn to let people talk, bruv. You seriously, you got make that your New Year's resolution. But we travelled on Christmas Day, so our Christmas didn't happen, and then it became Boxing Day, and then we went out shopping. So we bought each other presents. So I got myself a few things. My kids bought me presents. I got a present today.
For Christmas.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. So my whole Christmas thing didn't really happen as it should. So that's why I kind of paused. Yeah, I got a present from a friend today.
Oh,
It's
wow.
actually in the back of my car.
Wow.
Mazza. What did you get, Dean?
I bought Sirelli a present. So when man's turning around telling me not to talk, I bought him something. I bought it to his yard when he weren't even there. So when my man turns around and says, bruh, yeah, we went shopping, I'm like,
I know. You know,
I'm waiting for him.
Citrus was really quiet because
I
he's
feel
fuming.
quiet,
Yeah, he was
because I'm waiting for him to turn around and talk to bruv. It's all right, next year. You know what line
Let me
goes for
land
your
on it.
name next year? Rain, you've been upgraded. Welcome to the club. No, for Christmas, I got a variety of presents.
My team.
And even though I opened the present on the 27th, I put it on my WhatsApp status.
Why? Why the 27th?
I was at home. I went at
Okay.
home.
Oh, so you were Team Kim on this opening thing?
No, I
Lovely.
wasn't doing your madness. But yeah, so I opened my present a couple of days later and I put it on my status earlier on this week. I had about 8 people. Where'd you get it from? I'm like, yo, bro, can't get that again. Nah, don't get me wrong. You can probably get it everywhere.
Yeah.
But
In
that's
the
not the
sale.
point. It's not the point. So it was like, and it was a pair of trainers. I don't normally wear this brand. So I was like, oh, you know what, this is
Oh,
nice.
I commented, didn't I? I think I said something.
You
Yeah,
commented,
yeah.
a couple other people commented. Yeah, so they were really nice. So and Buddy bought them for me. So thank you, Buddy.
My team.
Make it down to the podcast, though, bro.
I know. Man, just listening in action.
Still have to pay subs. Alright, cool, boom.
So my New Year's, similar to Wiley, I spent it at home. But what I did, which was new to me, was I spent it at home. I woke up early, and in waking up early, I didn't do the resolution thing, and I suppose migrating into today's podcast, I'd like to discuss this. So, are you gents ready?
I'm ready, yeah.
One question
Alright.
before though. Did you wake up early intentional?
I woke up early because I had 8.5 hours sleep. And as much as I wanted to sleep longer,
You were satisfied?
I was satisfied, yeah.
Cool.
Wowzers.
Only reason I said that is because I'm not making it a New Year's resolution, but I will have more sleep this year.
Okay, so good evening and welcome to the MT podcast. To my right, you have,
Mr Wileycat DJ, aka the voice of reason.
and then to my left, you have.
It'll keep on coming every single week until you stop laughing.
Yeah, make it
It's going to be a long time then because we're still laughing at the truth. Rain, Bomber Clark Nelson.
And then, as well as Rain, we also have.
Sirelli, ever so slightly broken.
And you got myself, the Citrus. Yo. All right.
Share the
It's the
live.
Citrus in the house.
People them.
And we're running the show. So I'm going to mix it up. Like, you know The Simpsons? Every time they change it
Something
up.
different.
I'm going to do something different.
Something different every time.
It's going to last 2 weeks.
It's going to stand up and walk in the
And I'm
middle
gonna
in the
forget.
podcast.
So this week's podcast, Wiley, what are we talking about?
We're talking about New Year, New You.
New Year, NYNY, innit? New Year, New You. I nearly said NYNU, you know? And you showed me up. But no, so New Year, New You. And what I like about this topic is, obviously, we've had a decent amount of rotations around the sun, would you not say, between us?
Oh, right. Okay, yeah. I'm thinking what you're going
Collectively, yeah.
Collectively, it gets even more crazy.
Knowledge.
But what I would say is what I've learnt, what I say has been different this year is, as I said, I woke up very early on New Year's Day and went for a walk. I went for a walk on New Year's Day in the AM. Do you know, like that? The roads were empty. So went for a walk, wore some nice crepe, stepped in the mud. Don't want to talk about it. Rain. I accidentally washed my trainers in a washing machine. It worked.
It doesn't. It actually doesn't.
It looks how it looks
but
before.
then they'll start to squeak. But, go on.
Okay, until they start squeaking.
WD-40.
Until they start squeaking, we're good. But yeah. So, but what was good was I said thank you for 2023. I shared my thank you out aloud for the things that happened in 2023. Even though if I look at 2023 over the last 10 years, I think it's been 2015 was that was a slaughter year. But then I think 2023 comes next. I know it sounds mad.
Oh, right. Okay.
Just for how things kind of unraveled themselves throughout the year.
Even worse than COVID.
COVID was a good year for me.
That was good, man.
Wow.
I mean, very controversially, COVID was a good year for me. I got to sit down with my children and spend a very long time understanding why the teachers get vexed. But it wasn't a bad year for me. I didn't hate COVID. Do you know what I mean? Like during COVID, there was things that I suppose God taught me about myself that through the whole time I've been on this earth I didn't learn. So I didn't take it as a bad year, but 2023 there was just lots of. Do you know when you think to yourself you're walking proud and you're just getting shots from all different angles? That's the only thing. But on a more positive note, so 2024, I said out aloud, these are the things that I want to do. These are the things that I want to achieve, and this is what I'm going to do differently.
Do you want to share any of that with us?
Yeah, I think we should all share. So if you can all have a think about it. But one of the things for myself is definitely taking stock. So what I mean when I say taking stock, and for those that may not understand it, is as you're going through your everyday fighting the wars, you know what I mean, battling, giving thanks and praise or whatever it is that you're doing, at the end of the day, the week, the month, or whatever it is, take stock. And my friend, a good friend, her name's June, she gave me a jar. And in this jar, you write down what you're grateful for. So for the first week, I wrote down what I'm grateful for, and I put it in the jar. The aim is on New Year's Eve 2025, you open this jar, take and read all of the things that you're grateful for to be able to help you reflect on how good your year has been or how bad your year has been or whatever the case is. But it gives you something as like a yardstick to be able to measure what's gone on, what's happened. So these are the things that I've really, really liked and really, really enjoyed. And for Christmas, I got an Ancestry DNA thing.
Oh, you done it, mad thing.
So
Is it
I'm in the gang.
the
Yeah,
dot
well
com
done,
one?
well
But it's a small gang. So me and you.
No, I'm
Oh,
not.
yeah,
done it?
no, why
Yeah, I
done
did
it?
mine before you, bruv.
So where's your thing then?
They sent it back to me, said not enough saliva. Yeah. I got to drink more water and do it again.
Do you know I really can't breathe on the first time?
Brother, I was like...
But there's instructions. It's a line. You got to fill it to the line.
Yeah, I did it, sent it off. They said, yeah, not enough.
You must have got a co.uk one. It wasn't .com.
I was the first one to do it. Do you remember from the podcast?
Yes.
Yeah,
From
I'd send
time
off
ago.
and-
From time ago.
Mad. But you did-
Wally, you done yours, didn't it?
No, not mine. Not mine.
Do you remember he was against it because...
Wally believes he knows his.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I can go back.
I can read the scrolls.
No, he wasn't some.
And nowhere
I'm Black
else.
Panther.
That's
I
right.
can just touch the ground and speak to my ancestors.
That's right. Touch the ground, pick up the dirt. Yes, man.
I'm pure. He's saying he's pure. But yeah.
Everyone's got something from somewhere, but yeah, if you've got your family tree, that's about as good as any ancestry, whatever. So
It's not, but that's another subject for
yes,
another day.
indeed, we'll cover that in
Science
2024.
versus faith.
Jesus.
Yeah,
That'd be a good one. That'd be a good one.
Do you know what's mad crazy? Today I saw on Instagram someone selling active charcoal. And this person said, bring your juju and I will sprinkle the
Explain
food.
what juju is for.
I don't know what it is. But bring your witchcraft to me and I will use my active charcoal to combat your witchcraft. Science versus witchcraft.
Faith.
I couldn't believe it. But I'm going to leave that to people more knowledgeable than me to comment on it. Why?
All right, so quick question by a show of hands. Do you believe in faith more than you believe in science?
Nice.
Define faith.
Faith is anything you believe in. There isn't you can't really...
It's tough because I'm
As soon
not a
as you use
religious
the word
person, yeah.
belief, you sway the conversation.
No, but the thing is, faith is something that you trust without an explanation.
No,
Belief.
I need a reason for something. I can't just randomly just say.
This is incorrect.
You know what I mean? I'm saying no. I'm saying what my.
You know what?
I'm
You.
saying
Tell them
what,
my situation is my
I'm
cost.
saying. I'm saying what my mindset is. My mindset is the thing is I don't know about faith because I'm not religious enough to say that I have a religious faith that I follow.
But
so
faith doesn't have to be about religion.
no. That's what I'm saying. So I don't have a faith in anything to say that I have a deeper following. If I was religious, I could at least say, you know what, I'm religious. That is my faith. I can understand that. I don't have anything that I particularly can say, you know what, I've just got faith in that and that is it. I don't have that. So I can't
Incorrect.
say...
Because you just told us that you can track back your ancestors to Adam and Eve,
Go on.
but you don't have the scientific proof for that. So you're believing in something. You have faith in it.
No, but I've got data that shows that. So I'm not blind faith in something. I have documentation to say this is the reason why. If there's documentation to combat that now...
So you have documentation to show your ancestors back to Noah.
like I said, I've got not
Sorry,
like
Abraham.
I said,
Abraham.
I've got X amount of documentation
Man
for my
said
family tree.
to Noah.
Now, if it was a thing where there was something to combat that now, I can turn around and say, you know what, let me now combat that and have a different perspective.
Then do the ancestry thing.
No. To combat, to say with what your point was, what you're saying about faith and not faith, that's not faith, that's based on the information I've got.
But what I'm
it's
saying
not
is,
blind faith.
if you do the test and it comes back and it says you're 51%
Nordic.
He gonna be
Thank you very much.
Then that would be what that. Then I'd have to then check onto that, innit? That then challenges what the data I've already got. But it's not. I'm not going off of. Oh, I've got faith in something that I don't know about, or I haven't got the information of. As far as I understand it, and correct me if I'm wrong, faith is something that you just have a belief in. Doesn't necessarily mean that you have the documentation or have a have the
hard
data
evidence.
or
There isn't
hard
scientific,
evidence of.
yeah.
So I can't. So I could say scientifically, I've got pictures of certain people up to a certain point. Then I've got written documentation up to a certain point.
Drawings, bro.
Yeah. So I've got written documentation up to a certain
nearly
point.
passed that, bruv.
So my point is that is the data that I've got and the documentation I have in it. So that is what I'm going off of. It's not faith it's data. Now, if something challenges that and combats that, then I can say, you know what, that's something to look at. But I'm not blindly having blind faith in something. It's not blind faith in a religion, but in a religion, you don't have anything apart from the scriptures. And the scriptures, you can't necessarily prove that. So this is where it becomes technical.
So you're a science man.
I think I'm an information man. It's not even science. Because I don't have a faith in anything, I can't say to you that I'm faith driven. Because I don't have a faith in a religion. I don't have a faith in anything.
So in your 2024 belief, humans came from monkeys?
I don't know. I don't.
I mean, there's evidence that suggests that.
But the thing is, you have to have looked up that evidence to understand it, to make your own judgment of it. I've never looked at it to say, you know what, let me look at it and see if it's a religious thing or if it's a scientific thing. I don't have that interest. So I can't say to you that this is what I believe in.
So just,
Rain, I want to sway the conversation over to yourself. So we started off with the new year, new me.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. What does that mean for you?
You know what it is? I maybe my viewpoint's a bit different. The new year, new me thing, it doesn't apply to me. I don't believe. Maybe historically, like I've been through times when I was at university, looking in the bank, and I'm in the overdraft. You know what I mean? And there's a £26 charge coming out. Exactly. Yeah.
You get paid and you're still in zero.
Yeah. No. I mean £700 DR. When you look at your thing, I haven't seen that in years. But
And
in
you've got a
DR,
£500 limit.
and then I've got the £50 charge coming out because it was Barclays.
And then every day you're overdrawn.
Every day.
Next thing.
So like, I've had times like that, and then them times it might have been new year, new me. But what am I saying new year, new me for? At the end of the day, I've just got to do better than I did in that year. But that time I was young, you know what I mean? I was rinsing out student loan. Honestly, over the last maybe 20 years, I can't say that I've done New Year's resolutions. New year, new me doesn't apply to me. Like, if I did have a New Year's resolution, it was just it would be just to continue to be happy and continue to be positive. I don't do like I need to go to the gym and all that kind of stuff. In fairness, I did start an escapade in regards to health and frequency and all of that, but I started that in July. So why am I waiting for the new year?
Have you kept out of it?
Well, I'm still researching it. It's not a topic that you. This is the thing. Like I've asked numerous questions to numerous people. Like shouts out to Sly. He does the 72-hour fast, and I asked him the question, "Why did you do it?" And he can't give me the reason. Or no, sorry, he can give me a reason. But then when I've done the research in regards to the scientific reason as to why you would do an intermittent fast, it doesn't marry up. So it's stuff like that. So in regards to that journey, I'm still on it. Like I'm reading a hell of a lot, understanding a hell of a lot about frequency, not going in down the apologies to some of my friends that are maybe listening and they believe in not saying I don't, but you know, chakras and yoga and all that kind of stuff. I haven't gone that far. At the end of the day, I'm looking at the things of, if I can't sleep, there's a reason why I can't sleep. So through research, and I think I've said this to you guys before, if you can't sleep, it's because your genes are deficient in something. You need to be able to supplement that gene or whatever you're deficient in with a vitamin or something to enable you to produce the chemical that helps you to sleep. So that's where I'm at. But that's not a New Year thing. That's something that I started in July, and it's gonna continue to go. So I don't do the New Year resolution things. I think, and look, anyone that does do them, fine. But for me, it's not that they're pointless. I think I'm at a stage in my life where I'm content with where I am, where I don't need to set those goals. Like I've got a property or two. I go on a few holidays a year. Like last year, I probably visited 4 or 5 different countries in Europe. So it's not like they're not like far, like Atlantic. You know what I mean? But I'm all right. And all I want to do is maintain and continue. So it's not a new year, new me. Just continue doing what you're doing. If you're happy, continue doing it.
Really?
Boring.
Well, you say that, but what are you going to tell me about your
So
new
the
year?
only reason why I'm challenging you in such an abrupt way is because I know you, and I know you're a man that you're always on something. Something is always tickling your... Yeah, something's always tickling his interest.
This is true.
Hey.
New year, new me.
Bare conflict on that so far.
Go on.
I know you, and something, it could be as abstract as it is, will tickle you. And all of a sudden, you've got a new little focus on it. Now,
Tunnel vision focus.
Yeah, it's got the vehicle you're driving at the moment. You did research about it, and I could see the excitement in you when you're talking about it and doing research, talking to people who drive something similar or something totally different to it and stuff like that. So knowing you from that background, I'm not saying what you're saying is not true, but as an outsider looking in through the window, through the very small, and by the way, Rain don't let nobody know nothing.
Talk about yourself, Brendan.
So
Safe.
But there's a little hole that you get a little pear through every now and then, and you can see him tunneling away, just moving across, doing things and doing. So Rain is one of those people that he's always got something happening. There's always something. Yeah, you know what? Something came up, and I'm now shooting up to Manchester. I can't make podcast next week.
Yeah, but you're right in what you're saying. But I'm not waiting for the new year.
No. So
for those changes.
Yeah, I'm not using the new year as the hook on it. I'm just saying that for you, as much as psychologically you're looking at it as well, I'm just going to keep on doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Without maybe intentionally realizing it, you're doing this and you're striving for the next thing as you're doing it. So within you, I don't know, it's just that listening to you say it sounds like you're like, you know what?
It's not same old, is it?
Yeah, because I'm not just telling them away.
As soon as the next thing clicks, his focus changes.
So
and we've observed that.
Right. So the best way I can describe it is, if you are digging a hole, you're a mole and you're digging a hole.
Yeah.
And the way you describe it makes it sound like you're just digging a hole and the diameter is the same. However, me knowing you and seeing you through that little pear glass, when you're digging a hole, every foot is a little bit wider than the foot behind. So your horizon, your view is a little bit wider. You read more, so you see more. You ask questions about more things, so you learn more. So this is what I mean by that when I say rubbish. I believe that you're much more of the environment that's around you. So I know you're doing a lot with your son.
Yeah.
And every year that's growing. Now you're telling me, I'm going up to Derby.
Wait. And he's opening up a business this year.
So yeah.
You're right. I haven't forgotten.
Yeah, so there you go.
He even forgot.
Yeah, there you go.
I haven't forgotten.
Luckily, I keep tabs on his life.
Yeah, so
just so he can think he's floating normally.
The reason for me to say this is that sometimes we don't look at life in a way of progression for us. And I think you missed that for yourself. Or maybe you're just downplaying it for yourself. I don't know. But I believe, sitting from here looking at you and what you've just said, what you've just said there is like 49%.
Yeah,
and the other 51% is still to come.
But in the context of the new year is where we've arrived at. So in the new year, it's new year, new me. All of the things that you've mentioned are things that have started in February, March, July. They're not like, as you're saying, I'm digging the tunnel and it does get wider, but it gets wider throughout the year. I don't wait for the end of the year to then say, right, I need to achieve this. Like, if you wait for the new year to then make a change in your life, you are profoundly, I was going to say stupid, but that's too harsh of a word. But you're limiting yourself. Yeah. And people don't limit themselves. They don't wait to the end of the year to make the change. It's almost like it's a nice thing to say. Like the amount of people that I've on my WhatsApp status that have said the new year, new me thing, and I'm like, you said that 2 years ago and you're in the same position or you're in the worst position. So why did you even say it? I just don't get why people do the new year, new me thing if you're going to continue to do the same thing. Still moan about men, still moan about depression, still moan about your girls doing the... Flipping hell. Do something or just shut up about it. It's just like a waste of time.
Open question. So if we could change and do something different this year, what would it be?
So I'm going to jump onto that and take a little bit of the last question that you asked in the sense of, do I believe in the whole new year, new me? No. I don't let a date, like Rain himself, I don't let a date dictate how my life progresses. However, if you want to look at it from a perspective of 2024, something that I do now that I didn't do last year, and I wouldn't say it's that I didn't do it, I think it's putting more time and more effort into it, is changing my actual pattern of thinking and my focus on the little things. I think a lot of the time I focused on the very small granular things, whereas now I need to look at things from a much higher level, a little bit more holistic. So I would focus on, okay, I need to get this done. I need to get this done. I need to get this done. And then I would look at it as I need to get it done. But now looking at it as well, that task needs to get completed. It doesn't necessarily mean I need to do it, or it doesn't necessarily mean that it's something that needs to be on my list, but it needs to get completed. So for me, I'm really trying to stand back and use everything around me that's available to me. Because sometimes you don't realize how much is actually available to you, especially if you don't ask people and you do things on your own. I'm one of those people, I will be going through hell and back, and only the people directly around me will know that I'm doing this or I'm struggling or whatever the case may be, because I don't like to ask for help. It's just something that I've built up over the years, and I just get on with it. It doesn't matter how deep the problem is, you just kind of struggle through. So now I want to, the whole positive vibe thing for me, that kicked in last year, and I'm like, it's working. For me, scientifically, via faith, whatever you want to call it, it's working for me. So long may that live. And it's one of those things that I suppose faith does have something to do with it. Once you start to believe in something and you start to see it and accept it without any reasoning, it just becomes so much more fluid. It becomes entwined in your life. So for me, that's one of those things that I need to carry on doing. Not something new, but just keep that level of positivity, the level of things will get done. And if they don't get done immediately, that's not a problem. It will still get done.
Wiley.
I don't believe in resolutions. I said the same thing last year. I don't believe in them. I think that people, much like what Rain was saying before, people tend to say these sorts of things and say that they want to do something for the year, and by the end of the month, that's already gone to pot. I think if you've got a target and a goal, that's what you should stick with. So for me, I've had a lot of time, especially because I've been off work for such an extended period of time, which is the first time in my working life. I've been working since I was 17. First time I've been off work for a long, extended period of time. So I've had a lot of time to sit down and look at myself and look at how I conduct myself. And I think what I've taken from it, and it was something I was doing more of last year, but going into this year, is I'm more focusing on myself. And what I mean by that is I do a lot of stuff for a lot of people, and sometimes you do stuff and you put yourself all over the place for people, but you don't actually reap. It's not even about reaping the rewards, but it's about whatever you're putting out there, that energy, that level of whatever you're doing, getting it back and having that fruit from the tree that you planted. And I think what I've learned over the course of time, especially the last year, the last 6 months even, I'd say actually, is that I'm more going to be focusing on myself. And I don't need resolutions or anything to try and tell me that. I think what you see from things over time is you get to have an objective view, looking at things as an overview and seeing things, taking yourself out of the position of what you were and seeing things differently. And seeing that, yeah, it's very much the case. I mean, talking of resolutions, there was something I wanted to ask all of you. It's a very quick question. What percentage of people do you think give up their New Year's resolution in the first month?
70%.
90%.
I'm probably going to shoot closer to Sirelli, probably around 85%.
You're looking, it's a lot less than that, 40%.
No way.
However, one thing that is interesting is that, excuse me, and it touches on to what Rain was saying about health and everything. Research shows that 95% of New Year's resolutions are fitness related, but after the first 3 months, only 10% of people think their resolution will last. So we tend to tend to put a lot of things onto fitness, health, but actually mental well-being, mental striving to do things that you may not think you could do. People don't put themselves in that risk. But if you look at it, fitness, health, those sorts of things, not being funny, but they're things that are easy to achieve. They're easily achievable. If I say I want to go gym, I can sign up for the gym, innit? Start going gym. If I say I want to go walking, I can go walking. But actually having the mental capacity to say you're going to do something, you've got a target, and a long-term aim, people don't necessarily want to put themselves in that bracket.
So you mean physically it's easy to do?
Yeah,
but
physical targets are easier than mental targets are to do, without question. Citrus.
Good question. In my head, in fact, I'm going to switch it up. as the MT podcast, what do we want to achieve this year? Rain chuckled to himself and then looked around.
Yeah, no, I'll go. I'm interested
Say
to see
it,
what-
innit? Say it. Just say it.
No.
Say it.
For me, I'm not like me personally. Yeah,
Pay your
I
subs.
think it gets to a always do. It gets to a certain point in your life where you've you can't achieve everything, but you reach a plateau, and then the next stage, like you need to have a break from trying to achieve stuff. Like there's a song by Nas called Suicide Bounce, and basically the lyrics is like the song is saying that he's sitting up drunk, he's thinking about his life, he's got money, his family are straight, as in they've got money as well because he's looking after them, and his kids are doing well. And he says, why am I still hustling? Like everything's okay. There's a point in life, you should get to a point in life where everything is just blessed. And I'm at a point at the moment, and like touch wood, that it continues, like everything's just blessed at the moment. I don't need to aspire to anything more at the moment. Now, in a couple years' time, that might change. You know what I mean? And
Rain, when you say blessed, sorry to cut you, bro, but when you say blessed, as in there is nothing more you want right now?
nothing more that I want right now. Nothing that I want to break my back to try and achieve right now. Okay. Like, look, I might want to do another degree at some point. My job in a way it's heading for it's heading in a good direction. My own personal endeavors in regards to my professional own business that I will start up will happen in time. But then like, I've got a business or two out there that's making money. I've got a professional job, but the car that I drive is a car that I want to drive. I go on numerous holidays. Like, what else am I trying to achieve? Like, for me, once you pass your driving test, get a degree or have your own business or whatever it may be, what else, and you own your own property, what else are you trying to achieve? It's happiness, isn't it? Okay. For me, it's happiness. Now, I want to be able to go into a supermarket and buy whatever I want. I want to be able to buy...
Not a farm?
Why would I want a farm for?
No, you wouldn't want to go to a farm and buy what you want?
Why do I want to go to a farm?
To get the valid foods?
No, because you can go online and you can order that food. And it's sent straight to you.
So essentially you're saying everything you aspire towards, you are at this point.
Everything that I've aspired to, all the things that my parents have said, right, you need to achieve X, Y, Z. You need to pass your driving test. You need to have a degree. And I still debate if I needed to have a degree, but that's another podcast. Kids, family maintenance, like those things are all in place. If I think, what do I want to do right now? What do I want to do right now?
So there's nothing that's sparking the flame?
Not at the moment. Not saying that in 6 months' time there might not be.
That's not going to change.
Yeah,
Okay,
but right now, no.
Really?
So, question to Rain. Is this things focused around you or is these things focused around your family?
It's focused around me, man. The family, like, once you are happy, the happiness goes out to your family. Once you are comfortable, that comfortability goes out to your family.
I don't know if I agree with that, Ray. Yeah. I'll tell you why, because, and this might be coming from a different point.
Yeah.
But someone else's perceived happiness that impacts your family can influence what your family's happiness looks like.
Can I give an example?
Really?
Let's say hypothetically you have a partner and she wants to get married.
Right.
You've been with her for X amount of years.
Yep.
Everything is good.
Ain't asked the question yet, no?
You ain't asked the question yet and you're not married.
Right.
Okay.
You're happy.
Yep.
You're blessed going to work, coming home, kissing the kids, kissing the wife, well, the missus, and all of
Can't
this.
say missus.
Yeah.
Can't say Maurice.
Yeah. The common law wife.
Yeah.
Common law partner.
Yeah, common law partner. Thank you very much. But in the back of her head,
she wants the ring.
She's giving you food and arranging it so that it looks like
a wedding ring. What?
The meat's at the top of the rice and the middle of the plate's empty. The rice on the edge of the plate, the chicken's at the top, and the middle of the
engagement ring, yeah?
Again, I'm just saying.
All right, then.
So you're happy, but you're getting the not as obviously not as bad as that.
Totally
but,
get it.
Yeah,
but then then the happiness.
Why is your tongue changed,
no,
bro?
it's not changed at all. Listen to what I'm saying.
Okay.
Ultimately, then the happiness that I have that should be spilling out isn't spilling out. So that person isn't happy. So therefore, I haven't. What?
No, I'm waiting for you to
right.
finish.
I haven't succeeded in what I need to do, and that might be a part of a plan. Like as much as I don't know. The thing with marriage is, as and I was watching a documentary on it. Like some people want marriage immediately, and some people have a plan for marriage. Now, the plan for marriage sounds a bit wild, but it could be quite sensible. It could be you need to have a.
So Rain, I'm going to jump in right there. I'm 23 years old. I've been with my girlfriend for 3 years.
Yeah.
I love her. She loves me. She wants to have a baby soon.
Yeah.
My mum likes her. My dad likes her. Her mum and dad like me.
Yeah.
It feels like the next natural step to take.
Right.
All right, I haven't done the whole travel the world.
Yeah.
I live at home, she lives at home, but it feels like the next natural step to take. The same statement you're going to make is now falling on my ears. What are you saying?
What, in regards to that situation that you just mentioned?
That situation, very specifically.
In regards to that situation, if it's right for both people and that is what they want, then yeah, there should be a proposal. However, if that individual that needs to propose, because obviously the man proposes, is thinking, right, before I get to that, we need to have a house together. I need to sort out my finances before I get into. You got to think, marriage is as much as it is a unison of two people. The two individuals need to be comfortable and happy with themselves before you get into that. There's nothing worse, I believe, than having a marriage and one, you're living separately. One, two, one person financially isn't able to contribute how they want to contribute. Like the basis of life, and people may disagree. Like the man proposes to the woman, and he is the protector and the provider, so to speak. It's changing, it's a bit skewed now, but ultimately, in a man, that's what you should want to do. If you are proposing and you know, after you've had that marriage, you can't look after your partner, that might play on the back of your mind. And if you can't commit to that, then why would you get married straight away? Everything in time, nothing before it's time.
Really? I was going to come to Wiley, but I'm going to hit really up first.
Yeah, he's on this dangerous thing. You're trying to mash up everybody's life out there.
It sounded
No. It sounded like your mash up rain tonight.
No, it's not that. It's
Thunderstorm.
Yeah,
it's
hurricane.
Don't be bullied into situations.
Yeah, but then you're putting it down to, and this is me just, trying to give a wider picture of it. You're putting it down to finance. You're putting it down to provision. The whole point of the marriage is that you then become one and then you do things together.
That's kumbaya. It's like love conquers all and there'll be world peace.
Sorry.
It's
In today's world now, in today's tax Richie Sunak,
tax avoidance world.
Right now, it is very, very difficult for a single, I'm not even going to say man, a single person to A, get a mortgage, B, be able to live what we would consider to be a comfortable life. Having someone else who works with you in your household, and I'm not even saying partner, I'm just saying if you live in the house and you've got someone else there that's backing half your bills,
Okay.
your life standard
Just changes.
it changes.
Yeah.
So really, let's put some. Let's make this make sense, and then I'm gonna come over to Wiley. So, I live with my partner. We're not married. She earns $2,000. I earn $2,000. Automatically, that's $4,000.
$4,000 in the yard.
$4,000 in the yard. The bills come to 1,800. So we have 2,200 expendable cash
Disposable
at
income.
the end of the month to do whatever we want. Living in Rain's world versus living in Sirelli land, I want to understand what is in Wileytopia.
Wileytopia says, and shouts out to Olivia, who's on the chat. She says you need to be all on the same page. And you know what? That's what I think it comes down to. It is unfortunate. And, it's a modern world. So a modern world says that that everything is equal. Everyone lives equal. We all have different takes on what that equality is. But if you go off of what your mindset is, and my mindset, my upbringing is very much one of very much one of the old. I wouldn't say chauvinistic. Chauvinistic isn't the right way, but I would say it's the old-fashioned thing of, as a man, you're meant to provide. That's my mindset. I can't take myself away from that mindset. So if I'm not in a position to be able to provide, I will find it difficult to turn around and say, you know what, I'm gonna now look, because if you go on to how traditional the traditional way of marriage is, when you get married to a woman, you're taking her from her family and you're making her into your house. It is now your job to look after her. That is what, when they talk about dowries and stuff, that is what the essence of a dowry is. You're basically not buying, but you're buying your partner, your wife, from their family to say, now she's your responsibility. She's your responsibility. You now have to ensure that the way that we looked after our daughter, you can do the same thing. And if you can't do the same thing, then you are at a minus, not a plus. So the way that I look at it, as with that sort of a mindset, that sort of an upbringing, I have to be able to look after my partner and provide for her. That's just how I am. I can't really look at it any other way. And if I feel like I'm not doing that, I feel like I'm failing.
Or you should have the means to.
Yeah, or have the means to.
And it might be that you get into that, you're married and she's able to look after herself. That's fantastic. But then there is, so my mum always said to me, self-help is the key to success. If you can't do it for yourself on your own, then there's a problem. So think of it like this. Now, and this is a very morbid way of looking at relationships and marriage, but if you go into something which is, and there's nothing wrong with it, don't think that what I'm saying is don't do it. Like, do what suits you. But if you get into a relationship and on the offset, you're going into the relationship because the only way you can make the financial side of it work or everything else work is because it's 50-50. What happens if the relationship breaks down? Then you're at square, let's just call it square 10, for example, and the person that you're with is at square 10. Like, you're almost taking a step back. My view is, before you start to go down that route, accomplish yourself. Make sure yourself is satisfied. Make sure you is ready for it.
So make sure that I'm sufficient.
Yes, sufficient. Yeah.
Prior to inviting her
onto your plate,
onto my ranch.
Yeah. So
for example.
Yeah, exactly. So if worst case scenario happens and you split up, then you can still
Standard of life
doesn't change.
Shouldn't change.
If it's something and you get into a relationship and you're both on the same wage, salary, and whatever it may be, if you lose your job, she's got you. If she loses her job, you've got her.
Fair enough.
That's where I'm coming from. Maybe I didn't articulate it properly in the first instance, but that's my thought process.
I didn't get that from the first one, but
right.
If that's what you're saying, then I kind of get it. 2024, is that true? Is that even a reality?
Well,
because
I will jump onto some, because to add on to the point you're making there, some people in the chat have been commenting pretty much on this. So shouts out to Good Times Panda, says that the word I was looking for was chivalrous. Chivalrous.
He said it wrong.
If I can even get the word right. Can't I get the word right?
What I'm looking for is chivalrous.
Let's just say chivy. But yes, that's basically what they're saying there. Shouts out to Mo925, who also says, provided extends to all aspects of life, not just financially. What's your views on that? Is it just about finances? Are you just providing financially, or are you providing more than financially?
I mean, I appreciate what Rain's saying. I appreciate what Rennie's saying. And I appreciate your stance. And I'm just going to be controversial, maybe for the podcast, maybe not so. Living in London in today's day and age, being able to hold up a household on your own is extremely difficult.
It's a hard feat.
It's not easy. Do you know what I mean? The amount of people I know, and in my industry, I get to work with a lot of young people. When I say young people, I'll broaden it out from the age of 17 up to the age of 25, 30 years old. For them to be able to say that they can manage
a comfortable life.
It's, I nearly swore. Do you know what I mean? It's proper difficult. Now, don't get me wrong. Us lot growing up, we, I believe, rode one of the last waves that meant on our salary we could buy a house.
100%.
Do you know what I mean? On our salary we can maintain
Just
a family.
about we made it. Just about.
We could do it. Do you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, and this is on our own. If we had a partner backing us through the whole journey, you've gone clear.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
And the few of us who did have that, as you say, they're in a different different field.
Different field, different lifestyle, different attitude.
Premiership, five-a-side.
Yeah, and I'll accept that. But so now I get that it's different, and a conversation I had today. Sometimes some of these relationships are through convenience.
Yeah, 100%.
And for me, and shout goes out to Buddy. Buddy said to me last year, or it might have been earlier on this year. He said to me, "Bro,
What, last week?
if it weren't about being actually gay, I would be the perfect partner." And I will explain this.
Please.
So it'll make sense. It'll make sense. So to say what me as a person brings to a table, and what him as a person brings to a table as a joint union, going forward in London society today, 2023 or 2024, you stride further and higher than the majority of others. So financially, what we bring to the table, to be able to succeed in today's world, we can make it. And I'll explain it. So a 1-bedroom flat in my postcode is 650K. 1 bedroom. So even if we're not gay and we bought this property, he now has to sleep in the bath. Do you get it? Because 650,000 just gets a 1 bed. If you want a 2 bed, and Sirelli lives, you can almost hold your breath and run from my yard to Sirelli's yard. That's how close it is. So Sirelli knows for a 2-bedroom yard where we live, you are looking at 750 bags. Easily, calmly. So now to be able to, in today's world, be able to afford and purchase that and still be able to live. And when I say live, I'm not talking about going theatre. I'm not even talking about going cinema.
No crepes.
I'm talking about just be comfortable in what you're doing, and I'm comfortable with what I'm doing, and what we bring together can buy in the postcode that I live in today. This is where you need to be. So when we looked at it in that respect, in the conversation, and don't get me wrong, it was fueled by his emotional bullshit. But it being where it was, I sat back and had to deep the conversation. I was like, do you know what? He's not wrong. He's not wrong. Do you know what I mean? As much as you may or may not want to admit, he's not wrong. So I didn't think to myself, my daughter finishes university this year. Do you know what I mean? Aspiring to get a first. She's doing really well. If she gets her dream job, her partner needs to get his dream job for them to be able to rent in my area.
And get a good paid starting.
To rent.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
I said rent. To rent in my area.
And then taking that...
Sorry, really. And to be able to rent for about 3 to 4 years to save up, to get a deposit, to buy in a zone, like if we say from zone 1 to zone 6, to buy in zone 4. And we live on the borderline of zone 1 and 2. And this is the reality. Do you get what I mean? So I turn around and then say, what does 2024 now look like? In speaking to my daughter, or speaking to those between the ages of 18 and 33, 34, 35, I already know that these now new, I don't know what they're called, Rain, you might be able to help me, but these areas outside of the M25 that are now alluring.
All right. Literally outside of M25.
So I'm talking Milton Keynes, I'm talking Luton, I'm talking Bedford, I'm talking parts of Essex,
Hempstead,
Romford,
all those kind of places.
Hempstead, I'm talking these kind of... So these, by default, will now start to flourish.
London is... Whereas before we looked at London, well, to be fair, when we were young, London to us was within the A406.
Yeah,
No,
this is real.
Dead honest.
And the 205 to the south.
Yeah, 205 to the south. Then we got older and then started looking at properties. Then we widened it to the M25. But by the time our youngers come to our ages, London for them will be Stockbrokers Belt, which is Gerrard's Cross and
Yes.
taking up all of Hempstead. Yeah,
Well, it kind of check.
Sorry, Rain, but when you start seeing train lines saying 18 minutes to
Mad
Euston, do you know what I mean? Why? Because from where the train station is, they're not stopping nowhere else.
Yeah.
They're going from there, bow.
Yeah.
Next station, London Euston. Forget everything
in between. So you got people travelling
Oxford
up there.
You got So what? So from my yard, right? From my yard, I can get to the train station 10 minutes, 18 minutes into Euston, and then 45 minutes into an hour and a half. I'm in Piccadilly.
Yeah.
So they're looking at it like to say, yo, I could live in London and rent
In a box.
or in a box, or live. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
further out,
Yeah.
and then commuting.
A wee bit one way, out there, and then get in with Wiley on strike.
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah. Doing his madness.
Smashing up the whole thing. So I now need them to work from home.
Yeah.
Do you know, I need all of these things in my contract. Do you get what I'm saying?
Because the funny thing is, when we say comfortable, we laugh and jest and say comfortable means you can
Really?
buy trainers.
We work in removals, bruv. There are people that buy yards for 400 bags, and their garden is the same size as your bedroom, bro. And these yards are 400 bags and on the skirts of the M25. This is reality. So when I'm looking at 2024 and I'm talking to my daughter, like my daughter's got a partner, I ain't met him yet. 2024 aspirations. Big problem.
That should be way up on your list, bro.
It can't be high. It can't be higher. I just got to be honest with myself. I'm not ready for it. So it can't be higher.
Yeah.
So his aspirations are based on my
I can see you're
aspirations.
emotional, so I won't joke. I won't run joke on it.
I can't even handle that bit. But the reality is, even being able to purchase in those areas at 400 grand, which means if you're putting a 10% deposit down, that's £40,000.
Mad.
Bro, how long will it take us to save 40 grand? Realistically, the people we know, the last 10 people in your phone book that are not customers to the entrepreneurs in the room. How are you turning around and telling me you're going to save £40,000
And still
plus
eat
fees?
Baked beans, which is Heinz, and ketchup, which is Heinz. Not that I'm plugging any company, but to me, that's living comfortably. If I have to choose between Ambrosia custard...
What holidays? What custard?
Yeah.
We're just going to have mains. Do you know what I'm going to have? A big mains.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I ain't got no space for dessert.
Yeah.
Do you get-
Because these are the things that make your life
Bro,
comfortable,
this
innit?
is the reality. This is reality. So
comfortability.
I'm turning around and saying, when you look at 2024, so what I had to do, I'll be honest, I had to up the pace of the podcast. We was in second. I just thought, let me just push it to fourth and see where I go on. But the reality is, when you're looking at it now, and you're thinking to yourself, what's this going to be? How's it going to look? And Rain said he's comfortable, and I don't believe him. I don't believe him. He's comfortable in his today's comfort. But if I was to go to speak to Rain 5 or 10 years ago and said to him, look, bro, you're going to be in central London.
Earning this much. Driving this whip.
Plodding along.
Yeah.
So I ain't got my yard in Jamaica? No. I ain't got my yard in the Motherland? No.
But you ain't got 7 yards.
No, not even that, bruv. Not even. I'm making a reality. He wants his yard in Jamaica, a yard in the Motherland, and a holiday home somewhere in the US. Let's be real.
But is that based off of the year?
As I said, it's a conversation I would have had with Rain Man 5 or 10 years ago. However, he's got to a point today where he's like, you know what? All of those potential capitalist aspirations, I'm not there. I don't want that. But I don't want that because I didn't get it, or because I can't get it, or because I'm comfortable where I am. Whereas beforehand, he would have said, what do you mean? Of course I got my yard in Jamaica, so I'm going to take a month off work every August when my son finishes school to go and live with grandma or granddad.
Winter
or
ain't
uncle.
catching me here.
Winter ain't catching me. Christmas where? Christmas on the beach. Do you get what I mean? And look at him. Like, Wiley the same thing. Wiley the same thing. Turn around and say to Wiley, bruv, 3 years ago, turn around and say to Wiley, yeah, do you know what? You're going to die in England. Who, me? Doing a Donkey Kong beat to the chest. Come on, bruv. Sorry to rattle you, but what I'm saying is, if you then turn around and say, do you know what? Because we've now got to a position that we perceive as comfortable, it's not comfortable. It's our environment has told us this is the best you're going to get. right now,
Sunak has limited you.
has turned around and said, this is what you've got.
Yeah.
However, if I turn around and said, you know what, Wiley, go and get your Nigerian passport, get your Nigerian nationalisation, get your Nigerian citizenship, I've already got this. Right? You know what I mean?
I was about to tell you that.
I know.
Open a guest house back home.
And the same thing, so if we're going to turn around and be real, I want to live here for 8 months of the year. But for those 4 months when I'm not here, 1 month in Wiley's yard, 1 month in Rain's yard, 1 month in Sirelli's yard, 1 month on a cruise. I'm discovering somewhere new. I'm going to Madagascar. I heard there's things in Madagascar that I probably won't like, but I want to go there and say, you know what?
I don't like it.
I don't like it there. I've been there, I don't like it. And this is where, for me, I like in my children, and when I say my children, I don't mean necessarily my biological children, but the young people that I influence, who look at me as a fatherly figure or an uncle or whatever the case is, I want to turn around and say to them, these are the things we should be aspiring towards. Because when the UK is ready, we are getting dashed out.
No,
Not
you're not getting
forget
dashed out. You're just going to get pushed into a corner where you have no other choice.
Look at Brexit.
Look at Blackwall Tunnel.
Yeah.
So
we've got fire
as I
coming.
said, as I said, all I'm trying to do now is we cruised in second for far too long around about 4 roundabouts, sitting in traffic because there's an accident on the M25. I'm turning around and saying, okay, let's get into fourth.
I like the M25.
Let's get into fourth. Let's go on the A2. It's a nice cruise. Talk the things.
Here's the thing, though.
I lend the shot at each one of you. So I'm expecting comeback.
So I agree with your points about people having targets and aspirations. Where I don't agree, though, is that people will look at it and say, well, because we're now in the new year, I've now got to hit this target. I've now got to do whatever. Or I'm now in 2024. So 2024, you know the one thing that I can't stand? I can't stand it. Every January the 1st you see it. 2024 is my year. It's going to be my year to do this. And then come the end of December, the same people saying that, the same people are saying, you know what, I'm going to do better for next year. So I think you can still have aspirations and targets and goals you can aim for. But it doesn't necessarily mean you have to say that in 2024, I'm going to do something. You know the best way to hit your target? Don't tell no one. Don't tell no one what your target is. No, have that for yourself. Have that for yourself, and you are accountable for yourself. Because what will happen is when people start to say, oh, in 2024, my target is this, I'm going to do A, B, and C, they end up falling way by the wayside way too early and not actually achieving what they want to do.
Wiley, if I turned around and said on the podcast today that come December 25th, 2024, our podcast is going to be on a beach.
I'm there.
All of a sudden, just in the room, look, even producer Jay
turned around like,
said what? Said what?
Producer said, can I travel with
my
my
man said,
suitcase?
can I bring my Crocs?
are you still paying subs?
Are you paying subs and can I bring my Crocs?
Yeah.
That's all I'm hearing from Matt. So I'm turning around and saying, as soon as I make myself accountable to you, I hold you at a higher standard than I hold myself. And I know that sounds shit. Excuse my language. I know it sounds bad, but if I need to keep Wiley and Rain and Relly, Buddy, Tongo, producer Jay, if I have to keep you, I'm holding all my brothers up. That's a level that I can let myself down and be like, yeah, you never hit it, did you? Nah, bruv. But don't worry, next year's a new year. New year, new me. But all of a sudden, if I now have to look at you all in your face and say, do you know what, lads? I'll let you all down, you know? On my life, that's not happening.
But here's the thing.
Just how I hold myself, how I love my brothers. On my life, it's not happening. If I turn around and say we're on a beach, it might be sand.
We're going to a Lido.
We're going to a Lido. Just bring your wellies or your. I don't know. Just we're making it.
I think.
Do you know what I mean? Sorry. And that's when I talk about holding myself to standard. That's what I mean. And if I don't hold myself to standard, anything below whatever my brother's perception of standard is, I'm willing to accept. However, if my children then said to me, what do you mean? We should be doing blah, 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 blah on the beach. The standard gets raised again. So
you're saying that your standards is almost accredited to your accountability to others. So you hold others. So as you said, if you said that this podcast was going to be on the beach, if you made that promise to yourself, if you didn't quite make it,
I will rationalize it to me.
But if
I
it's
would say, because do you remember when Sirelli didn't turn up that day?
Yeah.
That's why you never hit your target.
Yeah.
Versus, I need to tell Sirelli,
we turned up in shorts and we're standing here.
and you're standing here in the cold,
Yeah.
in the middle of Tottenham. Bruh.
So New Year's resolution for you
For me,
would be to put yourself in the same regard as you put onto everyone else.
I'm not turning around and saying I don't hold anyone in a higher regard. to
No,
myself.
but that's what I'm saying. I'm saying bring yourself to that.
No, but what I would say and what I would share happily is I know the accountability that I'll hold myself to in my brain.
You're holding
I
the
will
rest to.
rationalize it.
Right, okay.
But to you lot, if I say to you, do you remember I had a really hard June? You
And
and
we're standing back
you're
looking
standing
like
there
you.
looking at me.
Like-
that's not gonna work.
That was 1 month.
That's not going to work. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. I can never turn around and say to any of my children, Daddy promised you this, and Daddy didn't deliver because June was hard.
Yeah. No. I
Do you understand? And I've got to be honest. Like, if I hold the mirror up, I can talk to that guy, and he'll reason with me. If I hold the window up and look at all of you lot standing on the other side of the window and say, you know what, June was hard, you know, and they'll say, bro, we saw you on holiday in April.
But
And I saw you on holiday again in August. So therefore, June was compensated for. Now talk. It's not going to happen.
see, on the flip side of that, though, the guy in the mirror you can't lie to. You can lie and make excuses to everybody else except for the guy in the mirror, because the guy in the mirror
But
knows the truth.
I said rationalize.
Well,
And that's not
rationalise,
necessarily a lie.
Well, put it this way: you can rationalize it to other people, and you can embellish that rationalization of it. But you can't rationalize it for yourself if you know that not to be true, because it has to be based on truth. And you can make yourself feel better about something, but you can't say, you know what, where I had a hard June, because you will know within yourself, yeah, I had a hard start of June, but for the rest of the months, I was cool. So I could have done it. And that conversation with yourself is the real truth, because you can sit with all of us and say, you know what, I had a hard June, and we can all argue, no, you never. No, I did, you know. And you can rationalize that to all of us. But you can't turn in the mirror and say, you know what, I targeted this, I didn't do this, you know what? It has to be on you.
Sorry,
with the
one second.
rationalisation-
I need
Go
to
on.
pick you up on that.
Go on.
So what I would say to that is, I would then have to challenge you
Go
and
on.
say, you know what? I'm going to give you a target. I'm going to say, for this year, you need to take 1 week off work and not do anything. Because out of everybody here, you're one of those guys that it'll be Christmas week and you're telling us you're going to work.
Why they 6 months off? Right now, he's used to it.
Yeah. Now, this is a new one. He don't know what to do with himself. I think he's probably just going out cleaning buses or something for free. Just
Man just striking for no reason.
Yeah, just for no reason. Just bus stops. Yeah, let me wipe it down. Just anything. But I challenge you to take time for yourself. I challenge you to take a week off work where you're not working, where you're not doing anything for anyone else, because you do a lot for everybody. You're like the,
When he gets any time,
you're
he's
defending
dedicating
something
it to someone else.
Yeah,
It's true,
you
true.
dedicate it to somebody else.
Not us though.
No, it's not us.
Have you noticed that?
No, it's not us. Stay in pay subs. But
These falsehoods, you know.
but
terrible.
seriously, I challenge you to this year
Yep.
make more time for yourself.
Now, here's the thing. You challenge me to that. I disagree. I'm not doing that. This is the thing, innit? You can challenge my rationale of what I'm saying, but you can't enforce me. Whereas me, as the person talking to myself in the mirror or having that conversation or looking at myself, I have to be accountable to me. Because if you're saying to me something that you want me to do, and I say I'm not going to do that, what can you do to challenge me to make me do that? You
To
can't.
hold you accountable
Yeah, you
to
can't.
doing it.
I can only hold myself accountable for
Okay.
this. This is why I'm saying that when people say, "Oh, 2024 is my year," and you know they start what's the word, projecting and putting things out in the universe and saying, "I'm going to do A, B, and C." That's all well and good. But what happens is if they don't meet that target, it looks almost like you're just a procrastinator.
But Wiley, and this is the point. This is why, and as I said, I know me, innit? I know me. If I promise any of you lot something versus me promising me, I know the percentage of who's going to be happier at the end of the promise. I know that because I'll rationalize. Do you remember when you hurt your foot? Yeah, you couldn't work for 4 months. So then therefore, that's why you never hit the target. If I had to walk up to any of your kids and say, do you remember Uncle promised you a trip to Disney World? yeah, I can't do it because I hurt my ankle. They're gonna look at me like with the Mickey Mouse ears on.
Explain
What?
your ankle and Disney.
What? At that point, I've got nothing. Sorry, Siri. At that point, I've got nothing to say because they're not trying to hear no rationalization. And this is why when I say I hold myself, I do hold myself to a certain standard because if I get to myself into we call it igna, as in ignorant. But if I get myself in igna mode, there's nothing you can do or say that's going to change it. Nothing. However, I already know that if I project, so when you spoke about people that talk about positive affirmations, and I can't knock it, because for some people, saying it out aloud makes it a reality.
Sorry to cut you. I'm not saying people shouldn't say affirmations or shouldn't say positive things like that. That's not what I'm saying. It's when people come with their 2024, I'm going to do A, B, and C. And it's a difference in saying you're putting something out there positively, this is what I'm aiming to achieve, to 2024, this is what I'm going to do. If you now don't do that, then who's accountable for that?
Okay,
Yourself, innit?
so if I said to us now, for 2024, the four of us sitting here, share a positive outcome before New Year's Eve 2025, what could you say?
What, as in sharing an outcome that you want to be positive for
That
yourself,
we're projecting right now.
That you're going to make happen. Not you want to. You're
Start
going
with
to make
Sirelli.
happen.
Start with Sirelli.
I'm going to move this year.
You're going to move this year?
I'm going to move this year.
What does that mean, really?
That means, in layman terms, I will buy somewhere else and move.
So you want to buy a house,
I want to buy a house.
leave your property now,
Leave my property.
and move into this new house.
Move into this house.
So by 2025
No.
New Year's Eve,
Yes.
I can hold you to that.
You can hold me to that.
Rain.
I'll visit 6 countries, different to the ones that I visited last year.
So is this 6 new countries?
6 new countries.
You're going to visit 6 new countries. Can I ask you what continent?
It doesn't matter what continent. I'm just going to visit.
Yeah,
6
we're not
new
going to have
countries.
Guernsey and...
Do you know he's going to do some madness?
Yeah, but
he's going to visit the 5 points of Africa.
Isle of Wight.
Where you stand in that place
And you just walk around.
walk around in a circle, like, bro. Stamp this, stamp that, stamp that.
5 countries. What it is, there's this thing going around on Instagram where people are posting up the countries that they visited in last year. And I've looked at theirs, and these are influencers and people that you think, right, you should be traveling everywhere. And I'm like, last year, I did more than you. You know what I mean? And you know what it is? I think, again, I've done a lot of shit in life, whether it be good, bad, worked
Or
hard,
indifferent.
not worked. Yeah, you know what I mean? And the only thing, and I think I spoke on the podcast about it before, like not the only thing, but one of the things that excites me is only travel at the moment. Travel and food. Apart from the obvious ones being obviously sex, watching your kids grow, you know what I mean? But those are givens, those are staples. But travel and food are things that excite me to the point where now I visit a country that's famous for a cuisine. So if I go to Italy,
Listen.
I've got to have pasta in Italy. You got to have a croissant from France.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's
Apple pie in Holland.
yeah,
Yeah.
a waffle in Belgium. So that's where my head is at. So
Yeah.
I like it.
I'm not trying.
That sounds really good.
Yeah, and you know what I mean. And there's so
Not
many countries.
disrespecting what Sirelli said.
No. But obviously we're doing different things. You know what I mean? Different mindsets. Everything's a different mindset. So
I'm on you with the traveling. I travelled 4 times last year. So the traveling thing, that just needs to keep ticking over as it did.
yeah,
That's a standard. Like I said, I've
Do
already
you know what?
booked
I'm
one.
not even coming back to you lot. Wiley.
Cat DJ,
Build my brand.
Mazza.
That is what I'm. You remember?
One second. I can measure your thing.
Yep.
I can measure your thing. Let me measure your thing.
He's going to turn up with a Wileycat
Build my
t-shirt.
brand. It's not about t-shirts or anything like that. What it is like I said, the last 2 things. So the last 6 months, I've sat down and looked at a lot of things of what I do and where my energies are spent. And at the same time, I've also looked at it and thought, okay, how can I build my own brand and build my brand out there? So that is what my thing is really for 2024. And I'm not going to go out there and say, I'm going to do this event or I'm going to do whatever. My target is just to build my brand.
But why?
Why? Because I think it's important. I've got a legacy. I've got 2 legacies. We spoke about this a couple of years ago about having various hats. I have various hats. But having a legacy in those hats is what I'm now trying to build on. So I've got as it stands right now, and I think I've been quite lucky that people have looked at me and seen the work that I've done. My trade union work has got a legacy of its own. There's a lot of people that I've helped inside my trade union. There's a lot of people I've helped outside my trade union. So I believe that the legacy of that is there. The legacy of my business is such that when people see me, a lot of people still associate me with the sound I used to be with, as opposed to the business that I'm now trying to create and curate and build.
So you're on your own identity now. You want to be separate.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to now put out there to say, you know what, it's not just Raw Flavour. It's not Wiley from Raw Flavour. It's Mr Wileycat DJ. These are the things that I do. And that is what I'm trying to build the brand on.
But so maybe I've missed it. I'm not sure you've answered the question, but why?
Why?
What are you aspiring to then?
I'm aspiring to having my own legacy. That's what it is. My legacy right now in that field, in that particular field, I don't feel my legacy is as strong as what it could or should be.
Right, okay, so you're on Dragons then. You're in front of the Dragons.
Yeah.
You can't say legacy because legacy doesn't mean anything to them. Explain to me what is it you're trying to achieve by building your brand.
Right, I want to achieve name recognition as well as having a healthy financial income from my business. And a healthy financial income is one where I'm looking at having. I don't want to put numbers or figures in it, but let me just throw a figure out there.
As soon as you don't put any measures, you can't then record your success.
No. But I don't. The reason why I don't want to say figures and stuff, I'm not a person that believes in saying, "Oh, I'm going to achieve blah blah blah." But my thing is, I want to at least be able to say for 2024, I have done 4 times financially what I've done in 2023 through this business. That is
a measure.
Yeah, that's a measure. But what it is, it's a measure for me. And I don't like people then to say, oh, so how much did you earn at the end of the year? My thing is to look at myself.
But as you said, that you can only answer to yourself.
Yes.
So if you say, I'm going to do 4 times as much as I did last year, you know what you earned last year. You can record what you've earned this year. You can then justify to yourself and DJ on New Year's Eve and say to yourself, boom, I've made it.
Well, I've reached that target. I've reached that target or whatever. And then you then set more targets.
I want the producer to answer the question as well. So find the mic, do whatever you need to do. Do you know what I mean? I know you can hear me.
I'm a little bit scared to ask him,
No.
I know he's going to say he's going to put up subs.
No.
Yeah.
He can put up subs in it.
No. Do you know the beauty of it is that prior to the podcast starting, I had a conversation with the producer about certain things he would like to achieve. So I'm not going to expose him.
So we don't know.
But
Do we not want to know?
I don't know if he wants to put his affirmations out there or not.
I've asked him to share. And while he's contemplating it, I'm going to share mine. So I'm going to...
You see the laughter of that?
Wait, just give us a nod, and Wiley will share it for you.
So I'm going to... And to be fair, those that are listening to the podcast right now, or those that are streaming it, or whatever the case is, this is a question you can ask yourself. Do you get what I mean? It's what measure are you going to turn around and commit to openly? And when I say openly, only your ears need to hear it. But what measure are you going to commit to openly and make a promise to yourself? And unlike these guys shutting down 2024, new year, new me, it's what measure you're going to commit to yourself that's going to change, that when you have this conversation in 2025, because we're God bless and we're going to make it true, what are you going to turn around and be able to say to yourself, do you know what? I said I'm going to do it, I did it, and it happened. So if Relly ain't inviting me to a different yard, then in his existing yard, I'm shitting on the floor.
Hold on.
So let's just put it out there to make it make sense.
I'll tell you what it has to be. Relly has to invite you to a different yard in one of the 6 countries that Rain is talking about he wants to go and visit on holiday. And I have to be DJing. Hold on.
Rain is different.
Hold on.
Because Rain loves to do his Instagram thing. So I'm expecting to see...
No. I'm linking them all together. So he's got to have a house in one of the countries that Rain's talking about, and I have to be DJing there, charging Sirelli 4 times the amount.
This sounds perfect to me.
Good luck with the Amazon.
I'm like, do you know, I heard this story.
You know what Ranger says?
I heard this story.
Ranger says Afghanistan.
He don't even need to turn up. It's just a country that he said he's going to. I'm like, wow. How did all of a sudden?
Man's got to have a whole house out there.
Sirelli's out here with the Red Cross.
Yeah.
With the Red Cross.
Or
body.
press. Never typed nothing in his life.
And the green helmet on.
All of a sudden, I'm the victim.
All of a sudden, he's standing with his you. Like, yo,
Shit.
listen, it's all blessed here, yeah?
Yeah, don't worry. We got this. We got this.
So for me, it's like I've got a few, and as I said, unless I make promises to my brothers, this is how I hold myself accountable. I will shut down and restart my business, and have it operating in a way that allows me to step back but increase my profits.
So you're gonna burn it down, and then start again. You're gonna phoenix the thing.
Like Sing.
Sometimes,
Like the cartoon Sing.
sometimes that's what's required.
Destroy and rebuild.
Destroy and rebuild.
We need the
Sometimes
date
what's
and
required.
time.
Well, no, I don't.
No. As in timeline.
No, the
He
time-
can't do it on the 25th of December.
No, but it's a year. He wants to be able
I
to
said
come
by
back.
the end of this
yeah,
year.
by the end of this year, he'll
This
come
will
back to
happen.
us. So that stuff like ours, like mine is probably. You could challenge me like, well, I could probably visit 6 countries in a month, but it's impossible. I'm not going to be able to do that. So you'll be able to see the fruits of what I'm doing. Yours is not going to be immediately, is it? Because you're going to have to do lots of stuff, and knowing how you are in regards to picking this up
You know what
property.
really just doing the most?
Yeah, I know. And then
How far's the cornfield? You know, all things like that.
can it be wired for 6G internet and all them sitting there?
What direction does wind come from?
Yeah,
So, but,
all of that.
But Wiley's might be able to be measured. Again, I'm still, because you mentioned brand and business. Like, if I was a dragon listening in, I don't know what your business is. Dean mentioned what your business was. Obviously, you're a DJ, but they wouldn't have known. So, but again, you'll work that out. But I don't know, for because everyone talks about the new year, new me, and obviously I've said some things in regards to I don't have that approach. But the reason, just going back a bit, part of the reason why I don't have that approach to the new year at this age is that I had 3, 5, and 10-year plan, and I'm potentially, look, I'll be brutally honest, I've not hit the full aspect of the 10-year plan, but the 3 and 5 have got
smashed.
me. Yeah, more than smashed, ahead of time.
So they've got you ahead of time.
Ahead of time.
Which accidentally has pushed the 10-year out of sync.
Yeah.
So I will then question, why did you not reset the 3 and 5 once you hit the 5?
I should have. But
Comfortability.
You're right. You're 100% right.
Yeah.
Comfortability,
And
kids.
and when I said to you, who do you answer to? You answer to yourself. So he can rationalize and say, yo, bro, I haven't hit the 10.
Yeah.
I've got 2 years left. So
Technically,
realistically, I can just ride along this thing. Now, if I turn around and promise my brothers and said, yo, I'm not going to live in my yard this year, Relly's going to be like, so come New Year's Eve, if you're in your yard, I'm going to light the petrol bomb and you're going to hold on to it. Come on, bro. You're not going to do that.
Right.
We just went to a random yard. Sirelli must live here because he said he was moving, blood.
Right,
Where is he?
Before we get to the summaries, did we find out if the producer was going to
So
pipe
let's-
up or not?
I never answered mine.
Was that a
but-
thumb up or a thumb down? It was a thumb down.
Okay, so Producer J, those that know Producer J that's been listening to the live recently know that he's shy but talks enough as soon as the mic goes off.
Or if there's a hamper to be won.
Or if there's a hammer to be won, vocal, bro. If there's a competition to swindle, vocal. So where we at the moment is, for me, it's definitely about my business. I want my business to be able to destroy and rebuild. For my family, I'd like to ensure that I get my immediate family, I'm talking about my children and my mother and sisters, together at least 3 times this year. And I know that doesn't sound like a lot.
No.
But to get all of the moving parts in one place at one time without it burning down or whatever else would be an extreme aspiration for myself. Just so I can have a photo with all of them. Because I don't have a photo with my mum.
Listen, mate.
With
Death
my
and
mum,
funerals, isn't it?
with my mum, my siblings, and my children. I don't have a photo with all of them in the picture, which hurts me. So this is something I'll share and say, this is what I'm aspiring towards. And the last one is for personal growth. And My partner, she started a degree on the 2nd of January, bless her,
Matching in what?
in social work.
Oh wow.
Right, okay.
And I would turn around and say, just watching her do it and getting up and going uni, it's only been a week. But I'm like, rah, okay, your brain ain't bigger than my brain. Do you know what I mean? Look, come on, Wiley.
what makes love competitive?
Competition.
Everything's a
I'm
competition.
smarter than you.
Everything is a competition. So I turn around
Competition.
and say to myself, for 1 second, when last time did I pour into the cup of positivity for myself when it comes to topping up my knowledge? I can't even answer you. I can't answer any of you. So I will challenge myself to say, you know what? Academically, I will excel this year.
So
If I can't produce a certificate, and I'm not even talking no basic thing. If I can't produce one,
Social worker +1.
no, not even. That's not my field. That's not my field. My field is definitely about empowering people in a way where they feel they can empower themselves. So, and that's not necessarily just from a social
Right,
aspect.
okay, let me put you under the pressure then. So what level are you talking about? Just so we can hold you to account.
I would say
Yes, PS starring.
no. I would say an equivalent to a degree level.
Equivalent. Okay. Yeah, no. That's fair.
Level 4.
I can't say I'll do a degree because that probably won't happen. But equivalent to a degree level, this is something I'm in control of
Okay, cool.
that I can do.
Yep.
So, as we're coming close to the end of the show, very close to the end of the show, not the end of the year, but the end of the show. Summaries,
Beginning
guys.
of the year, end of the show.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Summaries, guys.
Jada Kingdom beat Steph London.
Well, you know, it's not, no. You know the thing is,
Do you know what?
I don't
I've
know
been seeing
what
a
is
lot
the
about
what is
that.
this
the
beef
beef?
actually about?
This is another podcast. In
Yeah,
a
yeah,
nutshell,
yeah.
one girl doing her thing, another girl with a man who is Burna Boy.
Burna Boy.
She done a thing with my man. He wrote a lyrics which says the best
Yep.
pum pum comes from Kingston.
Hey,
But if you look at the lyrics, my girl, Jada Kingdom comes from St. Thomas. Steph London comes from Kingston. So he's actually talking about Steph. Everyone thinks he's talking. Yeah, everyone thinks he's talking about whatever. It's a fallacy, but they're just warring. But it's good. It's good.
You know the funniest thing though, but isn't she actually from Birmingham or Amsterdam?
So I don't know Steph London.
Yeah. As in,
I don't know her history.
Her name's Steph London. I thought she was from...
Well, no, it's not even London, is it?
It's Stefflon. It's meant to be
London.
Stefflon Don, as in Teflon Don.
Yeah.
So it's just how she's written.
He's like, who are these people? Where's Lady Saw? Major Mackerel.
I've been seeing it everywhere, and I've been confused.
No.
But all I know, Sean Paul spoke about it, and I was like,
And Anthony B spoke about. You know, in fairness, I don't know much, but I don't follow the artists. I don't care for them. They don't do the kind of music that I like. I just said it because I was just being
But who
funny.
is winning?
I would say Jada. I would say
producer.
now man wants something.
Nah, producer's got lyrics now.
I would say Jada Kingdom just because I like it's authentic. I don't believe Steph.
Oh, okay.
But again, look, we digress.
Sirelli.
Yo, that's not me for this year, though. that's not me. Yeah. For this year, I'm gonna lock on social. And all this gossip stuff. Nah, but on the real, for me this year, it's nice to start the podcast and this year on a topic like this because it does put your brain into a gear that you don't normally go into. You always kind of just get on with things.
It pushes you into a very awkward corner, innit?
Responsibility in it and accountability, which is one of those things that, as you rightly said, it's easy to look into the mirror and look back at yourself and say, well, you know, I was going to do this, but I was tired.
You have 1 minute remaining.
No, take my minute.
Mr. No Credits.
You're good.
Mr. No Credits. I'm taking your minute.
Take it.
So for me, I really want this year to count. I like it does every year, but as Rain said, traveling, that for me is something that's always on the map. I always try to do at least 2 short hauls and 2 long hauls. So I've already got 1 booked. Hopefully by next podcast I can say I've got another 1 booked. But yeah, I want life to be as natural as possible. I don't want my progression to be something that I'm losing sleep over, that worries me. I don't want it to be something that I'm like, I've got 11 months to go, 10 months to go. I want it to be something that I want to do and I enjoy it. Most of all, spend time with the family, keep this positive, good vibe going forward, and just be blessed.
No, I'm joking.
We're bypassing rain. We'll go straight to citrus over
Yeah,
here.
no, citrus.
Definitely academically striding high. I'm also going to accept that I won't be living in my current property by the end of this year. I'm also going to accept that I'm going to visit 4 new countries that I haven't visited thus far. I'm also going to accept that I'm going to enhance my brand. I'm going to take all of these things on.
Your damn teeth.
It's not about teething. Sometimes to be the best, you need to up one on everyone around you.
Oh, just teeth what everyone else has got.
No, if that's what it takes, it will elevate me.
Swipe or no swipey. Go on, Mr.
Bro,
Bull.
it will elevate me. And if that's what elevates me, then that's it. Because I know as soon as Rain posts the first country, I'm like, yo.
That's a target.
It's on, innit? Yeah.
It's on. It's the truth.
Even if it's Wales.
As soon as
Either way.
Wileycat DJ starts doing his thing, I'm like, rah, it's on.
Back in again. Back in
Right,
the
as
game.
soon as Sirelli starts ordering moving boxes, it's on. So I know there's a stature that I need to, and as soon as, you know what I mean,
Subs go up.
subs go up, certain man out here gonna find a microphone again. But it's all right. It's fine, not a problem.
Well, our own studio, yeah?
So I'll turn around, all right.
Next door.
But I'll turn around and say, these things will inspire me and push me forward.
More
And
life, my brother.
call it competition, call it whatever you like. I like to hold myself to the standards that are around me, and being around my brothers hold me to certain standards.
Good.
Birds of a feather.
I have not got a 2024 target, but I have one thing I am going to try and achieve this year, which is to
Which is 2024.
which is to run the London Marathon in under 4 hours. That is my only target. I'm doing the marathon this year for the 3rd time. Last time I did it, I got to Rotherhithe, clipped a curb, my ankle turned over, had to hobble along for the rest of the marathon. Don't intend on having.
But
none
didn't you
of that
see the
this year.
curb?
There's how many thousands of runners, bruv?
Bruv, you was near the back.
Believe me.
What,
You was near the back.
You don't see it.
You
don't see it.
Or the
Listen, you don't see
Kenyans.
it.
You ain't got that head. You ain't got that
All I'm
head.
going to
was
say
there.
is none of them have run the marathon.
bruv.
Bruv, thank
He
you.
wasn't
None of
there.
them have run the marathon.
He wasn't near the Ethiopians
You're
or the
telling my brother.
Kenyans.
I've done it
He
twice.
was-
I'm doing it.
Why is
Well
moving
done,
like
well
he
done.
was...
Why was
well
there
done.
some man
Twice?
that had the dinosaur thing? Do you know what I mean? That couldn't see where it was running.
Listen.
While he was running next to that guy and tripped over the curb because he wasn't paying attention.
I'll tell you what.
All
I'll
right.
tell you what. I do
Organised.
remember the last marathon, and you would be surprised what people do. There was a guy running with a. We was talking about circling it back to faith. There was a guy running barefoot in
An empty t-shirt.
no in what's it called? You know them like cloth sort of thing.
Loincloth?
Yes, with a cross on his back,
Oh,
running barefoot the whole 26.2 miles.
Safe.
So you'd be surprised what people wear and do, and that in itself is a hard thing to do. Talkers of running, we're joking about people in the whole giraffe stuff, but all that stuff there is heavy. 26 miles of running of that is a madness. So
No,
if I can get
know,
myself through it and get in under 4 hours, I'll be very happy. That
Make
is
sure
my target.
you man sponsor Wiley.
Yep, straight
Yeah,
up.
I'll definitely do
Absolutely.
this.
I'll sponsor you, man, while you sponsor Wiley.
Me, I ain't got no resolutions like that. I just like, I want to eat a taco in Mexico. I want to smoke a Cuban cigar. I want to continue to
Have
laugh.
you been to Mexico?
No, it's on the list.
Nice.
you need to go,
So,
man.
Nice.
no, I will be.
You should
I
have
will
been
be.
Buddy's friend 10 years ago.
So yeah, so that's me, man. I haven't got no resolutions like that. I just want to continue to have that good memories, like situations like this when we're together. Like, oh, look, if there is a resolution, more time with friends, and whether that be internationally, in the country.
Wait. Are we classed as friends? Because I just know how you carry on. Anyone that follows Rain and looks at his WhatsApp status will see him post pictures of his brethren on their birthday.
No, that's a lie. 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 That's a lie.
None of us have ever been there,
Holding
right?
bottles like this.
That's a lie. You never get me holding a bottle. You might get the obligatory arm pose or something like that, but you never get that. But look, again, we're friends. If you don't think you're a friend, then you're probably not. If you know you're a friend, you are a friend.
At least we know where we stand, man.
All right, then.
Man,
safe.
them.
But
Colleagues.
I'm not doing the resolutions thing. I haven't done it in years. I just want to
We just want to hold you accountable.
I just want to laugh. I just want to laugh, man. So if I'm laughing, then I'm doing a good job. If you see me come in or I'm sad or whatever, then I'm not achieving what I want to achieve.
Very good.
That was nice, isn't it?
That was a good ending.
And this has been the MT Podcast. My name is the Citrus, and remember, this is the MT Podcast. So if the glass isn't half full,
It's empty.
yeah.